Hi there, welcome back. And today we're gonna talk about a subject that's really close to my heart, being relationships. So, this is the kind of videos that I really love to watch, and I heard somewhere that it's great to do content that you like to watch. I mean, it channels your creativity and stuff. So let's get right into it. This is gonna be about breakups, like how to heal for breakups, how to heal from a breakup. And I just made a list on my phone because I was thinking about this. Well, let's take a moment to Nay's appreciation. I was thinking about this subject and I was like, yeah, this is really something that helped me get through a lot of my breakups, like going on YouTube and watching those videos. And I decided to do one like this. So the first thing I did was just like keep a note on my phone open, and then whenever I was thinking about something, just adding it, and then it would make this video easier. So yeah, my experiences, I had how many long relationships? Four long relationships. And the last one ended around, it's gonna be 2 years soon. So yeah, I'm now single and I don't want to get into a relationship. The reason being, this was like over 3-year relationship and I really needed time to heal and get back to myself and get to know myself. And this was a pretty long relationship, as I already said, but it was an intense one. And I didn't want to jump right into another relationship. I knew I needed to heal a lot of stuff that this relationship brought up. And I was like, this is not fair from me to just jump right in with someone else while I haven't healed from all the things that happened, the trauma that were brought up to the surface and stuff. But even when it comes to myself, I really wanted to take time to let all emotions come to the surface, and I wanted to really heal this relationship, because when you heal from a relationship and when you try to heal from a breakup, basically you're grieving hopes, you're grieving dreams, you're grieving expectations, you're grieving a person, because we don't all have the chance to still be in touch with our exes, and for some of us we don't even want to. So it's a whole deal. And after my many breakups, I gathered some stuff that you guys might be interested in. So if that's your jam, keep watching. So something that really helped me, especially when it comes to my last breakup, which was the hardest one. Like, up to this day, I can't even say that I'm truly over it. I mean, I don't really know, like, how do you really know if you're over someone? Like, do you have to see them? But what if you guys live in different countries? What if you guys don't talk anymore? Like, it's really hard to put a deadline on your healing or a finish line, you know. Like, hey, I know I'm healed. It's been X month and X years, and you know for sure. I don't know for sure, but it's okay, because healing is not linear and it's gonna come in waves. So you just gotta buckle up and deal with it. So yeah, something that really helped me when it comes to all of my breakups actually, but especially for the last one, was to write it down. Whether you want to write letters to your ex-partner, telling them what you feel, what didn't work out for you, what you wanted to do, or anything that you feel, like just write them a letter. Or what I love to do is I keep a journal for the longest time. I've been doing that for the longest time. So I write every day, and when I'm feeling really, really, really down, I just write it all out, like I'm journaling. And it can take hours, just I need to unpack stuff, and I feel like when I'm writing something, I really get to process it. If I don't write it down, I literally can't process it. I need to do it. And so yeah, that's working for me. That's been working forever, basically. And I think it's really important to just let yourself feel whatever comes up, whatever it might be, anger, fear, sadness, whatever it is, you name it. Feel your emotions. So yeah, point number 1, write it down. And you need to do something with these emotions. So yeah, writing it down and just facing everything that you feel is a really great way to help you heal. Number 2, I love to do this. I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's been working for me. So, and I haven't really noticed it when I was doing it, but most in retrospect, I was like, oh my god, this happened and I did that. That being changing your hair, doing something with your hair. Whenever I was going through a really rough breakup, I mean, it doesn't have to be a long relationship for you to feel like mad, sad, or for you to feel like you're going through a breakup. Like, you don't decide who you fall in love with, you don't decide who hurts you, and you don't decide how long it's gonna take. Like, you can meet someone and just have a crush on them and take months, years to recover from it. So a breakup is a really large term, so put inside whatever it is that you're feeling right now. So yeah, do something with your hair. Like, this is an era of you that's over, a chapter that's over. So I like to bring change, like physical change, into this, like to really emphasize the fact that it's a new me, it's a new life. This is over, whatever it was, and however hurt I might be, it's just like, it's in the past now, you know, and I'm living in the present. So do something with your hair. I remember, like, my last breakup, just a few months after it, I had like really long hair. It was my natural hair, so I'm brown haired, I'm brunette, and I went for this like blue tie and dye. Like, my hair was blue from there to there. It was amazing, you know. I really needed something to change, and before leaving France to go live in Tanzania, I decided to do something crazy with my hair. I needed some change, so I cut it and I bleached it blonde, like I am now. So yeah, what it really does is that it really emphasizes the fact that this is a new you, this is a new phase of you, this is whatever might come from this. This is new, this is yours now. You're not in the past anymore, this is over. So number 2 was do something with your hair. Number 3 being move. Find a way to move your fucking body. And this is huge, guys. If there is just one thing you have to remember from the whole video, is this: move. Whatever it is, walking, going to the gym, like lifting or running, or I don't know, like boxing, or whatever it is, ice skating. Do something with your body. It's gonna help you channel all these emotions and all these feelings that you may feel. And I've been going to the gym like consistently for a few years now, and I know that whenever I feel like really, I feel emotions bubbling up, I need to do something about it. And sometimes writing it down is not gonna do the trick for me. I need something like physical. I need to really give something my all physically. So what I love to do is running. So I go to the gym and I run until fucking failure, guys. I mean, when you run, there is this point when you're like, you run so fast, or it doesn't have to come to speed, but you know you can't do more. I mean, you see your body being literally exhausting, and it helps you like channel all your feelings and emotions and do something with it, meaning moving your body and really like anchoring yourself. The physical pain is so high that you don't have any other option than to just be here in the present moment. And it prevents you from spiraling and thinking about what ifs and buts and what if we get back together and what if I see them and blah 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 and stuff. And this is amazing because for a short amount of time you find peace, like literally true peace. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm an overthinker. So whenever I'm going through something, it's really hard for me to not think about it like 24/7. And things that really help me from doing it is writing it down. But it's kind of, for me, writing it down, it's like a way to process things. But sometimes I don't want to process, I just want to do something about it. Like 3, 2, 1, I go, I have to do something now about it. And I think all the time, what works without failure for me is running. So I would strongly suggest and recommend that you guys find something that does that for you. The next point is it's okay to party, drink, etc. But you're gonna have to face it eventually. Ground yourself and give yourself space and grace. So I remember once I had this breakup and it was too much for me. I just couldn't sit with myself and see what was gonna come up to the surface, or I didn't want to write. I didn't go to the gym at the time. Like, I really didn't know what to do with myself. And I would just like go out every single night, like grab some drinks with friends and really drink huge amounts of alcohol and do things that I would eventually regret the next morning or the next day or whatever. And so when you do that, you're faking it because you're not okay. You're just trying to find a quick fix to it. And like whether it is the next morning or the next few days, you realize that it's worse because there's only so much you can avoid. Like, it's gonna catch up eventually. And it's worse because when you do this, you think, oh my god, yeah, I'm healed because I go out, I party, I meet people and stuff. But it's all fake, guys. And been there, done that. It's okay if you do this. Like, I'm not judging anyone who does. I'm just saying that it doesn't work in the long run. And if what you're looking for is true healing and true recovery from a breakup, give yourself some time, give yourself grace, let yourself cry, let yourself be mad. You have the right to be mad, especially as a woman. I think as women, we thought that you can't be mad, you can't like let emotions flow. I mean, special emotions, aka anger, because you're supposed to be soft and you're supposed to be gentle. Be mad, swear if you want to swear, like curse if you want to curse, like hate like some things, like not people, obviously, please avoid that, please don't do that. But if you go to the gym, like you can box, you can do something. You don't have to stay still and just accept positive emotions, because emotions are emotions. We as humans label them as good or bad, but an emotion is just something that's bubbling up and that's trying to tell you something. So anger isn't bad, it just means that you felt something and you feel hurt or disrespected or all that jazz. Yeah, so, and make sure you don't drink too much and you don't harm yourself or others, and please don't drink and drive. Give yourself time, as I was saying at the beginning of the video. The next point is give yourself time. It comes in waves. My relationship ended like almost 2 years ago, and at the beginning I was fine. Everything was fine. I was like, this is a great decision for both me and my ex-partner. Everything's gonna be fine and stuff. And then insidiously it came back, and you know, just you walk down the street and you think you're healed, and then you see something that reminds you of them, or then one of your friends tell you that they saw them and they asked about you, and even I don't have social media, so I guess it's easier for me not to know what my specific ex-partner is doing. But I think when you try to heal from someone, yeah, it can get tricky, you know, because you think you healed, and then you see something, and as I told you, I don't have social media, so I don't get like a glimpse of their lives every single day or whatever, so it makes it easier, of course. But even if we don't care, like social media or no social media, like you can literally walk down the street and see someone or something that reminds you of them, and you're like, oh my god, I thought I was healed. I'm not, because I feel all these emotions and I'm feeling really, really mad and bad. And I think we are taught that once you healed for something or someone, it's over. Like, you did it, like you passed the test, you can move on with your life. But emotions and feelings are tricky, and it doesn't just come like, yeah, okay, you did that, now let's move on to the next phase. It's a constant exercise. Like, for me personally, I spent like 3 years with this person. You can't just pretend this didn't happen, you know. You have to live and to learn how to live without this person, because in my case, we would like text often and call each other often, and they were my best friend. So yeah, it's hard. It's that's the reason why I was saying, like, healing from a breakup is literally grieving, you know, and it definitely feels like it. So be gentle with yourself. It's gonna come in waves. It's not gonna be something with a finish line, and once this line's crossed, you're like, oh my god, yeah, that's amazing. This is not gonna be the case. As I said, emotions are complicated, and you don't control if something is gonna make you react or not, you know. And it might even be like you meet someone great, but you constantly keep comparing them to your ex-partner, even if you don't do it on purpose, you know. Next point is take this time. If you want to, you don't have to. Take this time to reinvent yourself. What did you want to do when you were with this person but couldn't? Because they didn't want you to. If that's the case, I'm really sorry. This is not how it's supposed to go. Please stay safe. Like, what did you want to do? Who did you want to be? What did you want to try? Like, maybe they weren't preventing you from doing that, but maybe you were preventing yourself from doing that. So yeah, take this time to really take stock of your life and really tell yourself, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to try? What do I want to experience? Like, we all have this idea or these things we want to try, and we don't because we procrastinate, or it's not a priority of ours. But now that you're single, I assume you have more time. So maybe this is a good idea to put your focus in you. Take this time, this opportunity, because it is an opportunity to get to know yourself on a deep level. Like, who are you? Have you been jumping from one relationship to another, from one relationship to another for a few years now? Try to do some shadow work. What are you trying to avoid? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being single? Are you afraid of not having a support system because your partner consisted of your only support system? Did you try to constantly find validation from without and not from within? Like, and what did you learn from this relationship? What did you learn? We all learn from everything that's happening in our life, like on a daily basis. What in your partner did you really, really like? And that's going to be like a standard for you in the next relationships. What is something in your partner's personality or behavior or whatever that you really didn't like, and you can't compromise on it. Like, it doesn't match with your personality or your values. Like, what did you learn? Take stock. And I know when I was going through my breakups and someone would say that, I would be like, fuck off, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm miserable, like literally I'm miserable. I don't want to talk about it. But everything really does happen for a reason. If you guys are not together anymore, there is a reason behind it, whether you see it or not. Whether you see it now or not, and odds are you're not seeing it now, but it's totally fine. You're gonna see it in the future. Like, I remember I had this really awful relationship when I was 19. It was a really, really toxic relationship, and I loved the guy so much. Like, I would have given my life for them. And it ended, and I was like, I've been going through hell and back. I don't possibly know what good can come out of it, you know. And next thing you know, this is where I I entered a whole new chapter of my life, and this was really the breaking point. And from then on, I was like, I'm gonna change my life. I'm miserable. Like, this guy just triggered a lot of stuff for me, and this was a toxic relationship. Now I'm gonna know my worth. I'm gonna put boundaries. I know what I want, I know what I don't want, and I'm definitely not gonna settle for anything less than what I deserve, as you fucking should, queen. So yeah, I mean, at the time when it happened, I was like, no, it was just an awful relationship. Like, it was so toxic, we hurt each other so much. But not even a year after that, I was like, I can see it now. And now I know it for sure. Like, this was the breaking point. This was the start of my life. This was the start of me finding myself, me looking for myself, me getting to know myself. You know, just me and me alone, and not in relation to men, or not in relation to women, not in relation to anything, like who I am. If I'm not someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's girlfriend, like who I am. And that's something we all should ask ourselves, because this is when you don't like take no bullshit anymore. You're like, I know myself, I know my worth, and yeah, we're gonna see if this works. If it doesn't work, it's totally fine. We don't have to force it. This is a huge one for me. The next one is, I still struggle. It's okay to feel. Don't put a deadline on your healing. Like, yeah, I remember it kind of goes hand in hand with what I previously said, being healing is not linear. You cannot like put a deadline on your healing. Like, it's okay to feel whatever it is that you feel. Don't guilt yourself out, don't shame yourself out. You have the right to feel everything that it is you are feeling. Try to be, during this hard time, your best friend. Like, what would you do if it was your best friend, like in your shoes? And don't put a deadline on your healing. Like, I remember, like I'm sorry, at the beginning of my breakup, I was like, okay, I'm fine. And then I started not to be so fine, and I would be like, well, why do I feel like this? I'm supposed to be healed by now. It's been this and this. It's been so many months, and I'm in the past I've always managed to get back on track and to find myself again really easily and soon, and now I'm struggling. Like, what is wrong with me? But when you do that, you only created a gap. Like, you have this idea of yourself. Like, let's say my idea of myself was within like 6 months, a year tops, I'm supposed to be healed. But the reality of it was more than that, and I wasn't healed. So what's happening is that there is a huge gap on what it is that you are and what it is that you want to be. So what do? You shame yourself, you guilt yourself out, but it prevents you from feeling, which is what you need in order to heal. You know what I'm getting there? So I'd say every relationship is different. Every person is different. Like, and it can take some time, and it's okay, because remember, you're grieving from a lot of stuff, and it's okay. Be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, and be your best friend. There is a big pigeon watching me over there. And the next one being, if you can, avoid jumping from one relationship to another. But I already touched on this early on. Like, I think that whatever it is that you do in excess is a coping mechanism. Is something that you do in order for you to, how can I say that? It's something that you do that's preventing you from facing something that you really want to face. Let's say you have abandonment issues. Well, maybe that's the reason why you're jumping from one relationship to another, because you fear of being abandoned, So maybe you have to dig deeper and look for answers inside of your soul and ask yourself, Why do I fear to be abandoned this much? What is underneath? And, you know, really dig. And this is amazing because you're gonna get to know yourself on a deeper level, and you're gonna know how you cope with things. Let's say, taking my experience, when something happens, like let's say I'm with my partner and we argue, or I don't know what's coming up to the surface. As I told you earlier, I need to write it down in order to process. But in an argument, you don't have to say, hey, pause, I'm just gonna write it down and I'm gonna be back soon. So my coping mechanism is I leave. This is my coping mechanism. When it's too much for me, when I don't know what to do with my feelings, my emotions, I don't know how to articulate everything right, I just leave. And I know it can sometimes piss people off because they're like, I want to talk about it. We have to discuss about it. And this is something I'm trying to work on, to identify my feelings and emotions and put words on them and be able to articulate them in order for my partner to understand me. But yeah, what is your coping mechanism? What do you do when you feel triggered? Do you leave? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to unpack? Do you want to self-harm? Get to know yourself. And this is the end of my list. I hope it was really, I hope it was helpful. I remember when I was going through breakups, I had no clue. I'm the oldest, so I didn't know who to talk to, and YouTube was really like kind of the big sister for me when it comes to those topics, and others, of course. And I found comfort in those videos. So I hope at least I helped someone, or I gave some insights that you guys didn't find online or on the same videos. I would finish on saying that I think especially as women, you have this injunction, like you have to be in a relationship, you have to be something and worthy in relation to a man, or yeah, mostly if you're a woman, you have to add value to society, you have to be in a relationship with a man. And we see that like when kids are really little and they're playing on the playground, and teachers would say, oh, from a girl and a little boy, oh, they're lovers and stuff, they love each other, blah blah blah. Like we are so influenced in the way we talk, in the way we present, in the way we dress, even in our dating life. It's not a private matter, it's not something private, because it's been constructed for so long. And I think it can be really hard for a woman to decide to be alone, to be single, sorry. Being single doesn't mean being alone. Either you try or you go for being single or celibate. Know that there is nothing wrong with you, and you have the right to do something with your life that only involves you. You have to give yourself enough time to heal. And if you don't want to be in a relationship, that's totally fine. And being single for like almost 2 years, I really faced it, not with my friends, but like people would be, hey, are you single? And even when people hit on you, they're like, they don't even ask you if you're interested in them, they asking you, are you seeing someone? So what are my options? Either I'm seeing someone or I'm interested in you. Like I can be single and not be interested in you, you know? So I'd say some people are gonna say things like, hey, when are you planning on, you know, seeing someone again and stuff? But it's on you. Like it's your timeline. You do whatever it is that you want at your own pace. And I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Just follow your gut. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. And also something that really helped me was trying to give myself whatever I was looking for in a relationship. Like at some moment, I don't know how to speak anymore. Sometimes I would like wait for my ex-partner to give me validation, and I would be like, in hindsight, of course, I would be like, yeah, I needed that from them at that moment, so now that I'm single, I'm just gonna try and give this to myself. So maybe make a list also of things that you really were looking for externally, and what you expected your partner to say to you, to what you expected them to be or to do, what not to be, but what you expected them to do for you, to say to you, everything of that sort, and just give yourself time to give them to you, basically. And also, last one, I heard like of the 5 love languages test from the book The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, and I heard that it's really, if you're in this phase when you're like single and you're trying to heal from a breakup, etc., go do that test and give the love languages, your love languages, to you. That's a good one. And a last thing, like a bonus point. I know this is not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but for me personally, my policy when I break up with someone is to go zero contact, to go no contact. Because as I was saying earlier, I think you can't really heal from someone if you're constantly bombarded by who they're with, what they're doing, and you're gonna be like, yeah, they're going out, they're doing this, and I'm just here sitting on my bed and crying my eyes out because I'm miserable and stuff, and you're gonna compare yourself to them, and you won't be able to truly get over them and heal from the relationship, heal from everything that's happened, if you're constantly seeing glimpses of their lives. So yeah, guys, I hope that was helpful. I really love doing this video, and I hope my experiences and my insights were useful to you. I really want to create a safe space in the comment section, so if you guys want to share your experiences or ask for advice, please do it in the comment below. And on that note, I'm joking. See you all in my next video.